woman's name?
LIZA TARBUCK, BBC Radio 2. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Greetings, holders of the light. We are alive in the mothership. Welcome along. Music for all palates, as per. So we're just going to get the conversation going because the next 2 hours is going to whiz by. I mean, to the point where we've been commenting on it as if we're in Doctor Who. All your outside observances, from parks to allotments, gardens to streets. What have you seen that's worth reporting? What intel have you got? You know, I like a bit of that. Memorable delivery incidents or events. Remember, these people have, in the past few years, been heroes to us. So what the hell they were doing when they swapped your cornflakes for a Veruca sock? Who knows? Tell me about it. Mischief you make as a tax-paying responsible adult. What have you been tempted to do? Maybe lured in by a pack of ne'er-do-wells, or simply, I don't know, you had chalk in your hand, you just wrote it down. That's what you'll say to the police officer who catches you. Let me know. I'm not condoning that kind of illegal behaviour. March. Anyway, that person that you don't know, but who actually plays quite a regular part in your daily scenery. I mean, the lovely email last week about, the lady knowing that she's late for school if she sees one person and on time if she sees another. Where strangers become a marker in your life. But let me know. I love that one. And has your pet been an April Fool today? Have you witnessed wildlife gone rogue? Acting out? I mean, perhaps a fox has been coming into your garden every morning at 8:30. Like at mine. It's quite exciting. I keep very, very still and wish I'd put him, wish I'd made him a steak and kidney pie. Or her. Looks like I saw her teats. Beach finds. Things you found whilst beach combing, rock pooling. And also, if you have done your family tree, I'd like to know about unusual ancestors' jobs, if you've got one. Unearth treasure as you thin out the stuff in your house. What have you unearthed that you've thought, right, that's going downstairs and I want a good look at it? Tenuous links to a famous, which very fast became having a jacuzzi with Arthur Fowler last week, and other famous. But basically, it might turn into an EastEnders festival of jacuzzis, because they clearly like making skin soup with strangers. And have you pulled your finger out this week? Pull your finger out! Which used to be an insult, but frankly, if you've got on and done something and need to show off, I'm prepared to drool. Correcting a tour guide. What happened? I just thought about that the other day. I just thought, yeah. When your lip curls, you think, well, that's not true. Just wonder whether you've ever had to correct a tour guide. Top Bird Trumpingtons of it's the season of high activity. Mohos, caravans. Maybe you're sitting in a traffic jam and would like to get in touch. Maybe for the Easter break you have rented bricks and mortar somewhere beautiful that you'd like to paint a picture for us, us that are still at home. Your skating ensemble might be important this week, I don't know. Start something off there, because I don't know which way to go. Misheards, mispronouncings, and children's insults that smacked you in the face verbally. As ever, what you're eating is our business. Never forget that. You are inspiring an international audience. 88291 liza.t@bbc.co.uk. Hashtag LIZA TARBUCK Radio. So obviously, I often play personal favourites, and you do hear them peppered through the year. This one is no exception. Marvellous in every way. From 1969, it's Al Hudson and the Partners. What a full sound. Apparently, Al brought together over 11 musicians to be partners in funk. God, I'd have been there. I mean, I'd have had to say, Tim, I might have lied and said I can play the marimba. Oh, he'd have wheedled it out of me. I'm a liar, Al. I just wanted a... Anyway, so I took a wedge of things home when I took home a big bag of things you'd sent me and the team for Christmas, but that hadn't reached us. So I've taken some things home, I've rooted through, and frankly, there are a few from the last couple of weeks that I've got to read out, so apologies for being late. Liza, you're absolutely right in your assumption that nether regions comes from Netherlands. They are the Low Countries. I mean, this is beautiful. Right back in Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors, Dromio is describing the spherical maid as a globe, and he is asked where different countries are on her body. When asked where Belgium and the Netherlands are located, he cries in shock, "Oh, sir, I did not look so low." You see, this is Fott, Barry and David. They're in Clapham, but they're everywhere as well, you know? Two guys that resonate. So... Thank you for that. I might keep that, actually, because, frankly, that's a delicious little bit of info. And the big texter today is, have you ever slipped on a banana skin or fallen into any other comedy cliches? It being April Fool's, despite it being too late. And Michelle's in Sheffield. She's our kind of gal. Our kind of gal? Is that nice? I don't know. But I like her. Hi everyone, I work in a school and very narrowly avoided slipping on a banana skin whilst wearing a felt tip decorated clown mask. The thought of what a comedy cliched accident report I would have had to fill in if I hadn't seen the Nana at the very last second had me laughing for ages after. We're in that kind of world, aren't we? Oh, and incidentally, Leslie of Norfolk says, "Hi, Liza. My boys, who are in their 30s now once asked me if I had a penny farthing when I was little, and they were very serious." Jane's in Dundee. She says, "Happy birthday to Tom for last week." And we were walking along the beach at Ardnamurchan on the west coast of Scotland. The west coast of Scotland. I've had so much fun. So much fun there. And, of course, Shell Beaches, so a sunset in... Oh, I suddenly felt trapped by the city. We found an old valve radio half buried in the sand. It was useless as a radio, of course. But we hollowed out the inside and made it into a fancy schmancy speaker for the CD player. Get us. Hats off to you. How long had it been there? I mean, it could have just been there the day before, couldn't it? But, there's a romance to finding things. Hi, everybody. Tenuous links to a famous, says Jake of London. My great-grandfather invented car insurance. He was called Frederick Thorsby. Isn't that marvellous? Thank you. And Vix and Mr. X are up here. I found this last week, and I think it's a couple of weeks old, but I don't care because it's great. Hi, gang. Please give my undying love to my filthy wife, Vix. We're in the camper van at the seaside in Ulfrome, which might be Ulfroom. Might be. Just had fish and he spelt it very funny to catch me out. Just had fish and chips with mushy peas, washed down with a bit of cider, and we're going to continue damaging last night's wine box. Great work. Your show, with the background noise of the waves crashing on the shore, is pretty beaut. Love to every single, in brackets here, even that one of the Ace Collective. Mwah! Oh, I just fancied it. I just remember 10cc when I was young. Last century. I was thinking, I knew then they were ahead of themselves. That's Eric Stewart and Graham Gouldman. The interesting thing with that track is both of them think they wrote it or came up with the idea. Oh, band boys, stop squabbling. Thanks for the pleasure you've brought me. I thought I'd share this with the group. I have a mysterious person in my life. I don't even know what this person looks like. I only know what he smells like. This is Hugh of slightly damp South Wales. I work as a supermarket delivery driver. Couldn't be righter. He's a friend of the show, though, Hugh. And I can tell if this particular driver was in the truck before me because he smells puffin glorious. And he leaves a fantastic nasal treat in his wake. While I'm basking in his floral ambience, I wonder what sort of a person he could be. Older, younger, children, pets, hobbies? Is this what it's like for dogs sniffing the scent of other dogs at the lampposts? Well, yeah, lampposts and other portals. Yeah. I've thought about sniffing him out, but what sort of reaction could I expect from my colleagues? Well, not good, Hugh. Don't do that, love. And there's quite a few drivers to get through. So how can I avoid sniffing the same person twice? You just know him. You're just going to know that guy, aren't you? Could my reputation of being a completely normal person, whatever that means, be jeopardised in any way? Or am I better not knowing? I think you're just going to know that. That's what I think. You're just going to find out. It's going to be revealed. Or maybe he listens. Rob, Jen and Marcy, in brackets, her real name. Hi everyone, we love our dog dearly, but she is an idiot. Affectionately known as Lady Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday Pants. Make of that what you will. So, Saren of Middlewich says, my nearly 11-year-old and I were in the car, looked across and said, oh, look, you're starting to get a little hair on your chin. He replied tartly, so are you. So, my children, says a non-unforch, wonderful woman, Anon Unforch. My children, Aubrey, 5, and Maeve, 4, once asked me why I had a crack down my head. It was lockdown and the hair salons were firmly closed. I assumed they were talking about the band of white grey roots coming through, but no. They were quite happy to confirm that they meant the frown line crease running down my forehead. A crack in your head. Someone passed the Botox. P.S. Salmon roasted with chorizo on the menu for the 4 of us tonight. Yum, yum. Becca's in Cambridge. She says, I once walked out of the optician's and straight into a lamppost. The funny thing was that the optician had said my eyes were fine. Love to everyone. It's an intimate examination, though, isn't it? I've got to go next week, I think. Not that I've told them I'm coming, but I shall book it. Yeah, bold strides of relief getting out of the ophthalmic opticians. What ho, Liza, says Jeff, Cara and Amelie, crawling slowly up the M5 back to dampest Wiltshire. Whilst rooting through my ancestral whatnots, I discovered I come from a distinguished line of saw sharpness. I mean, how marvellous is that? Saw sharpness, which of course would have been essential. I mean, I'm sure that they would have sharpened a knife if someone had asked, wouldn't they? Anyway, never was there a more tedious job, I imagine. Well, yeah, lots of jobs are there, aren't they? Hi, everybody. I did some very much needed clearing up in my garden. This is Julie of St Helens. I threw all the leaves and weeds into my green wheelie bin, and it soon started to fill up. So I thought, well, I'll get the ladder and I'll climb into it to squash it down a bit. Well, what a mistake that was. I sunk straight to the bottom and I couldn't get my leg up to get back out, and I was well and truly stuck. Luckily, my neighbour heard me shouting and came to my rescue. He had to lay the bin on the floor and I crawled out like a giant caterpillar. I think I've learnt my lesson with that now. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I used to pay Stanley 50p from next door to come round and bounce on my compost heap. just to make it drop. Oh, my black gold. Black gold. In the gym with the Y8s. Look at me. In the gym with the Year 8's wet lunchtime. This is Mrs. Morgan of Matlock. Just pause a minute for some of the Year 8s to go, it's Mrs. Morgan! Yeah, it is. I got hit in the face with a football this week and my glasses flew off. Glasses now akimbo, playing havoc with my variofocals, and when I told some older students the next day, they reminded me that it had happened last year as well. I'm just making a chilli for the Buxton Musical Society tea tomorrow, ahead of St John's Passion at 7. Thanks, Mrs. Morgan. I just couldn't not listen to this. This is fabulous. She's having parsnip soup tonight. She's going to eat it sedately. You'll find out why any second now. So, hi everyone. I was sitting at my kitchen table last summer with the front door open because it was so blooming hot. I was also eating a corn on the cob like no one was watching, which is the only way to eat them. I was gnawing on it like a rabid dog, really enjoying all the butter. Went up my nose, bits of corn hanging from my fringe. I even think I was snorting. I really do blame lockdown. Yeah. Love that. Gnawing on it like a rabid dog. I had the feeling I was being watched, though, and as I glanced up, to my horror, I saw the postman standing in the doorway looking at me like a rabbit in the headlights. We locked eyes. I said nothing and just carried on gnawing because I thought it was the only way. I styled it out. I'm not proud. He dropped the post on the mat and made a very hasty retreat. I haven't seen him since. I think he may have asked to swap delivery rounds. Yeah, he might well have done, the fool. Oh, that's a good delivery story. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Several years ago, I was teaching an art course on portraiture to 8 to 10-year-olds, says Tara. I was explaining that our faces have lines that run across them, obviously referring to the invisible horizontal vertical lines that we use for measurements to place the different facial features, the eyes, the mouth, the nose. Yeah, the imaginary lines. When I asked if anyone knew of these lines, one of the young students said, "Do you mean like the lines that run across your forehead?" From the mouths of babes. All the best from the nether regions. Just kidding. The Netherlands. Thanks, Len Barry. Thanks, Len Barry, you beast. Hi, Liza. I've just got to tell you this. I hand-reared a baby crow last year, but Jojo sadly disappeared New Year's Day. Well, yeah, fresh starts. This is Tanya of Suffolk. I put food out every single day since in the hope that he'd come back, but couldn't help think something horrid might have happened to him. Well, to my absolute joy and amazement, he only went and blooming well appeared this morning. Hooray! Tears of joy. Oh, congratulations. I'd love to rear a baby crow. That'd be a good sort of, arch enemy type thing. A private army of crows. Hi, everyone. I slipped on a banana when working as a student waiter during an awards bash at 5-star hotel on Park Lane. Carrying a tray of champers, full-on legs doing cycles routine, but I kept the tray upright and I didn't spill a drop. All the best to everyone, Glenn, Ipswich. Yeah, next he'll be telling us he's reared a baby crow. Hi, everyone. Can you say a happy birthday to my fabulous daughter, Rosie? She's 21 today. I mean, obviously, she's got a big 21 badge on and she's going to be dancing the night away in Chester tonight. And I'm so proud of how lovely she is. This is Kirstine. Isn't that a lovely thing to say? She saw a homeless lady today, and the homeless lady saw her birthday badge and wished her a happy birthday. So Rosie promptly went over and emptied the contents of her purse into the lady's hands so she could get something to eat. She really deserves this. You didn't even need to put that in. Done. 21st is a big deal, isn't it? It's a big old hairy deal. A very good evening to Gillian. She is mother of queens and kings. Sam, Sholin and Alana. Very good evening. Glad you're there, kid. And then Jess and Chris are having a slow-cooked lamb shoulder with garlic, rosemary and red currants. We've tidied up our garden in the sun by Cardiff. And Nala likes the show too. She's their dog. Why is this song funny? It just is, isn't it? Play this for my mate Clarky, who I went to Cuba with. It's a long story. Oh, I know what we can do. It's Radio 2 is on the web. Sounds out. So your smartphone on the 8. We want some news from Kitty Cat Cardwell.
BBC News at 7 o'clock. This is Nikki Cardwell.
God, sometimes, you put a track in and you're just so pleased with yourself. I love that Step It Up track. I mean, obviously I do because I play it a few times. But I'll play that for Tim Johns of Winterton. Nice guy. The honest truth is, though, of course, he has to make lots of odd sort of noises to get Emma's attention these days. Doesn't quite know what he's playing at. But he's had the courtesy of lending me his son. For which I'm truly grateful. Thanks, Chief. So, we're talking about outside observances. Anything you've seen that's worth noting and giving it to the gang. Memorably deliverable moments. Yeah, I don't know whether delivery. Anything you've had delivered that has got a bit of a tail. Share it. Adult mischief of that person. You don't know them, but they figure quite large in your life. Foolish pets. Do you know what? You know what it is, isn't it? It's like recapping at the end of or the beginning of an ad break, where they waste all in all about 7 minutes where they could have got great footage out and refreshed us with... Do you know what I mean? Or am I just talking in the wind? Again, we're going to be naming the show shortly, 6 words or less. I'll talk about that later, though, because otherwise I'm just going to fudge the issue. So I'll move straight on so I can get organised because we are inundated and it's our best thing. Thank you. The next track, it's a good, clean little track. It's Chuck Berry. It's 1961. It's nothing that you don't, It's not that you don't know it. The Beatles were massive fans of this tune. Performed it at their failed Decca Records audition. Unfazed, of course, they recorded 5 different versions of the song. Stop talking about the Beatles, though, when you've got Chuck Berry.
Long distance information.
At 2 minutes 10, I'm having a bit of that, thank you very much. So Chris Burry is in Colorado Springs, USA, expat. And I'm glad he's there because he's about to tell you something. Listen to this anyway. Hubster's out tonight, brewing beer day with the guys. I'd love to just watch that. I love that sort of activity. Whipping the crowd up. I'd love it. When he comes home, we're going to eat homemade deep-fried bear nuggets. Homemade bear. Yeah, that's right, Lisa. You heard me right. Bear nuggets. Washed down with a very, very nice red plonk. Love to everyone. Bear. I don't know what that would taste like. I have tried ostrich. See, I was vegetarian for about, 11 years. And it was the texture of meat more than anything else. The texture. I think it's why I'm so fussy about going to the dentist. You know what I mean. Hi, everyone. I pulled my finger out and made 16 jars of raspberry jam and 11 jars of strawberry jam today. What's more, I'm having a trout fillet. I thought it said filled. Sorry. A trout fillet cooked in butter with flaked almonds and new potatoes and peas. I don't think I had a fabulous, quite a large salmon steak last night, cooked sort of homestead style, baked in its, in its own little cocoon of foil. Oh, it was just delicious. I'm adding fennel to anything meaty. It's the Tuscan way forward. Cannot recommend it. I mean, don't go mad. Anyway, love to everyone, says Ruth of Bournemouth, but you're my favourite. Quite bloomin' right. Richard's in Cheshire somewhere. He's not being any more specific because he doesn't want this particular woman to hunt him down. Correcting a tour guide, Liza. A couple of weeks ago, we took my fabulous mum to Liverpool because at the wonderful age of 86, she's never been. She fancied a visit. We took one of the open-top bus tours. What, recently? She's 86 and you've taken her on an open-top bus tour. I'd have the police on you. Rest easy, Rich. I won't. Anyway, at one point, our lovely guide, and in brackets it says, let's call her Trisha. She looked a bit like a Trisha. Our lovely guide, Trisha, mentioned Lita Rosa being the first female artist to have a UK #1 hit single. Well, Mum had to jump in, and inform Trisha that she was the first British female to have a UK #1, as there had been at least one American female before her. I had to keep quiet for the rest of the tour. Trisha's eyes are still embedded in my head. The Whispers are, of course, identical twins, Wallace and Walter. Of course they are. Hi everyone, a couple of years ago I was gardening with a work pal, really ranting on about a colleague who was a right wally. When I stepped fully onto a rake head lying disguised in the chippings and thwack, wooden handle straight to the cheek. What was even funnier was turning to see my pal turning a mild shade of puce in hysterics. You know that laugh where they stop breathing because it's just too much, yeah? Thankfully I wasn't injured because she would have been useless to me. Obviously, I was hoping she hadn't seen and I'd styled it out, but I haven't lived it down. I never will. So it's leftover pizza for dinner, awaiting I'm not going into that. I met you once when your dog leapt into the back of my van in Highbury. Yeah, well, that'll be right. That'll be Wilf, I suspect. Ringo would have cowered and been slightly shaky, giving the impression to everyone that I don't feed him and I occasionally beat him, which I don't. Goodbye, everyone. That's Mel of London. Also, we need to commend Mr. and Mrs. Foggin of Northumberland, who are, in later life, working hard to become podiatrists. Now, podiatrists, is that feet? Everyone's avoiding my eyes. Yes, I think it's feet. I mean, we really ought to. Do you know what? I'd quite like to do a podcast. Never mind, Let It Grow, which is quite a nice listen, actually, if I do say so myself. I mean, sure, we could give you more practical advice and help. Of course we could. But you can go on YouTube or watch Monty Don or Minty Din. You can do all sorts of things, but sort of talking about, the mental aspects of gardening, what you get out of it. Just that one action, if you've never done it before, it really does make you proud. But yeah, we could do a podcast on feet, couldn't we? Look how tiny they are and look what they're keeping up. That's what I found myself thinking yesterday, but I hadn't even been drinking, just tea, now here's something interesting, I think. If only I'd got the note to hand, because I did make one, I promise. Electric guest. All I'm going to tell you is that she's the youngest looking 39-year-old you've ever seen. Hell of a tune, isn't it? Well, I thought so anyway, spread your love. So, I slipped on a banana skin on a school trip to Mont St. Michael back in 1982, says a non. I was 13 and very proudly wearing a pair of red kitten heels, in brackets, don't ask. Kitten heels, they are a Nachtmar. Eine Nachtmar! After skidding down several steps and losing a shoe, a French woman was heard to shout, "Naughty red shoes! Naughty red shoes!" I've never been the same. I like a pair of red shoes. They go with everything. Although I have now. I vowed I'll never wear heels again. You know, like when you make something up. I may not even have ever said that out loud, but I'm never going to again. Ever. Ever. Maybe for a job, if I had to. But I doubt it. Hi, everyone. Tenuous claim to fame. My parents' double glazing was fitted by Monty Bradfield, father of Manic Street preachers James Dean Bradfield. That is from Reverend David Gray of Chippenham. How did you get that out of him? Oh, you could be a Manics fan. And then Chris and Dawn say, "Hi, everyone. Wish us luck travelling home to Dover from the Scottish Highlands. We're in the motorhome and the last 5 miles may take us as long as the first 595. Well, with a bit of luck, kids, they'll have that sorted out by now. I tell you what. Hello, what's this? It's quite fun. It is good, isn't it? Hi, everyone. Both unearthed while tidying and dinner tonight, says Chris of Belfast. Resolved since the start of Lent not to buy rubbish. Don't go buying rubbish. It's Lent. I've been relying on the ever-diminishing stores of biscuits and Haribo under the stairs. But I had a final desperate hoke whilst clearing things out, and I have uncovered 2 full tubs of Heroes bought before Christmas. Bosh! There's dinner sorted. You'll be sick. Hi, everyone. My close call with a celebrity connection. No, tenuous links to a famous Bryn. I once rented a DVD next to the one and only Dawn French. She was paying a fine, would you believe? I mean, I believed it because she was. I love you, Bryn. You'd have thought they'd have let it go, though, wouldn't you? Why? She's got form. Cunning as a fox, they call her in her village. I mean, she's lucid most days, but they know her. A fine on a DVD, that's fantastic. Bryn's in a Tesco car park after a day of insulating before the plasterer comes. Yeah. Of course he's in Tesco's car park, waiting to see what he fancies for lunch, dinner, anytime. Hi, everyone. Rob and Yvonne sitting in the car, brackets Skoda, waiting for our Chinese carry. We've got a puffin story. At a Texas gig last year in North Berwick, in a tent, the fabulous Charlene Spiteri stopped mid-song as the front row were all looking down. She thought someone had lost their specs. No, it was a baby puffin, a puffling. It had been blown off course and ended up at her gig. A man with a small blanket? Was he bringing a blanket to a gig for? A man with a small blanket scooped the puffling up and took it away to cheers. Then another puffling appeared, true, and Charlene stopped her lovely ballad, was given said bird and took it away stage left. More cheers. Gig continued. Bosh. Well, that's a lovely story, and just to be able to say puffling. For more 80s hits, of course, we've got Gary Davis coming up. But if you wanted to see Sister Sledge, they're headlining the Royal Albert Hall in June. That'd be a great night out, wouldn't it? So, this evening's deliciously foolish antics are nearly over. But before we fly into the April sunset, which is stretching it a bit, it's time to name today's show. 6 words or less. Preferably something eye-catching. I mean, it's your game, but Angela of Leafy Leatherhead is reigning victorious currently with Does Avocado Reek of Sophistication? A beautiful question to pose. Hopefully it sparked amusement and bewilderment all at the same time, but enough people to go, what is that? Oh, I've never liked her. What's she yakking on about now? So it's over to you to consider all 120 minutes of this show and then condense it into 6 words or less. 6 words or less. Channel today's foolish energy into your titles. You've got until Monday lunchtime to get your fantastic suggestions in. So liza.t@bbc.co.uk, 88291 on the text, which you know. And then, remarkably, you can also WhatsApp me on 08000 288 291. It's still a good game. It's so sort of, just loosens things up in the right way. Look at the time! Oh, I love this. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm ruining it. Oh, blast from the past listening to Lily Marlene. My old dad says, who is this? Sue Clark of Derby. Of course it's her. My lovely old dad had to drive Marlena when he was in the army after the war from a show in Austria across the Alps. This is appropriate music. No, I thought the backing track. Stop it. I'd meant the backing track. That was my fault. So sorry, I gave him the nod there. It wasn't fair. Can we put that same one back on? That is appropriate music. If you were driving Marlene Dietrich across the Alps. Sorry, Callum. Callum is new and he has been sensational. Anyway, Marlene Dietrich back of the car across the Alps. And then he has a tattoo of her on his arm and could sing the whole song in German up until the age of 91 when he slipped this meat suit and veil and went somewhere else. God, I loved him. This is Sue Clark. Fish, chips and mushy peas with a glass of rosé with my filthy mother-in-law. She didn't say that.
When you leave, don't slam the door.
Thanks, Tex Ritter. Different times, of course. Well, we've been overflowing here and I thank you very much. You started that already? This next track is for our friend Mr. Paul O'Grady.
When stormy clouds surround you and troubles all around you, and when you feel your fate is sealed and signed, don't lose your sense of humor, and you won't lose your peace of mind. When lady luck has brushed you, Dame Fortune's really crushed you, and when you feel that everything's been tried, don't lose your sense of humor, and you see the funny side. I have heard for sure, for troubles they have a cure. Take a teaspoonful of smiles and add some laughter. There's nothing like a laugh to cut your troubles right in half and live happily ever after. So when you see the lightning, it really isn't frightening. A flash, a crash, and then the flash is out. Don't lose your sense of humor, and you find without a doubt, soon you'll have something to laugh about.
I have heard for sure, for troubles they have a cure.
Take a teaspoonful of smiles and add some laughter.
There's nothing like a laugh to cut your worries right in half
and live happily ever after. So when you see the lightning, it really isn't frightening. A flash, a crash, and then the flash is out. Don't lose your sense of humor, and you find without a doubt soon you'll have something to laugh about.
There's a tribute to Paul at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, I believe. In the meanwhile, this is Radio 2. It's on the BBC Sounds app, it's on your smartest trousers, and on 88291. Good night.
And the weather, cloudy in the north with a few spots of rain in the west, mainly clear in the south. Low cloud, mist and fog developing in eastern areas later. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 6.
LIZA TARBUCK, BBC Radio 2.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome along, fabulous people. Musically, of course we're elastic. We wouldn't be anything else. So if you'd like to sling your thoughts our way, this could end up being the most perfect 2 hours ever. At the very least, I fully intend to be a good guest for a couple of hours, and then I'll let myself out. You won't even need to get up. So, finding yourself using lines that you've heard from your childhood. Perhaps first heard from your grandparents or your mum. I did refer to something as a swine this week and got pulled up for it. Did you just say swine? I certainly did. During an eye test. The person in your life that you don't know but you look out for. That person. Oh, there she is. I must be late. Big DIY weekend as a rule, Easter weekend, because you've got, I suppose, you've got a 24 hours to let paint dry and undivided attention of help. So, big projects, what have you got planned? I do need paint colours. I need a bit more detail than I'm doing the hall. Don't trigger me. Top bird trumpingtons, of course, because there is fervent nesting afoot at mine, and I'm just wondering what you've seen. Delivery news, there must be the odd delivery this week that has been interessante, that, as they say in Spain. Muy interessante, senor. Good ancestry info. Stuff you've come across and go, oh, that's noteworthy. He had 14 wives. That's sailor in you. Maybe it was a job. Or maybe it bleaches into the next subject, tenuous links to a famous. Maybe you found out, like, oh, look at that. My great-grandma was I was going to say Edith Sitwell, but I meant to say Enid Blyton. That kind of night. Your measure of fancy schmancy when you were at the home of one of your friends when you were younger. Things that you admired that they had. And it might have been, I don't know, that their dad used imperial leather soap, which was seen as quite a luxury item. Or it could have been that they had Viennetta for pudding. And your mum had told you, no, it's tinned peaches and a bit of carnation milk. Yeah, measures of... Oh, look, I'm going to stay at Sue's because she's... whatever. Sophistication bars that your partners have set this week. Levels of elegance. And all of this is tongue-in-cheek. I'm asking you to dob your fantastic partners in. Correcting tour guides. That seemingly still got a few legs on it. The thrill of serving somebody something that they have categorically said that they do not like and will never eat. And you think, oh, really? You've just eaten it. So it's sneaky in a private way. You may never have fessed up, but you could potentially tell the world about your filthy behaviour tonight. Caravan and Moho news. You know, where do you find yourselves? Let us know, please. Skating, straightforward. I am a big fat white chicken. I've got a red thing sellotaped to my chin, and I've got a skull cap with a beak built in. It looks good, and I'm going to really mean it when I'm on the ice tonight. I'm just going to get on with it. I might leave eggs. I don't know yet. Quite hot. So the very least I'd like from you is what you're eating tonight, or in fact prepping for tomorrow. 88291 liza.t@bbc.co.uk, hashtag Liza Tarbuck Radio. And Noel Rogers refers to this next track as one of his best projects. He says, and I quote, he says, "There's no filler when you're working with Sister Sledge. Every song is awesome." It's a hard song to resist, isn't it? Thanks, Sister Sledge, for everything. Now, if you've been to hashtag Liza Tarbuck Radio, you might have noticed that we've got an issue with Spicy Tracy. She's stuck outside the caravan making a paella, not knowing what to put on it. So she's wondering about the turmeric. So Simon, very kindly, has come through. Saffron, paprika, Tracy. Yeah, turmeric, no. No. Atomkraft, nein, danke. Definitely turmeric, says Lorraine. Oh, hell yeah, to the turmeric, Trace. Spice it up, says Finchy J. And then we've got Sarah J. In Spanish Morocco, they use yellow cubes, which is fake saffron, which equals turmeric. So, yeah, I think you'll find we might have turned Trace's life around. We might not have done. I like to think we have, though. Hi, everyone. This is Emma and a red-faced Dave. Yeah, Dave. Just about to tell the world about it, but you've all been there, kid. My better half, not a phrase I'm comfortable using, Emma. My better half. Yeah, I'm going to let it go because I've got a bit of toothache. After telling the kids not to touch anything whilst looking at a traction steam engine at the local agricultural show, red-faced Dave, Emma's better half, idiot, couldn't resist pulling the whistle. Phew, I bet that was quite piercing. Which led, of course, to a scattering of the ponies doing the dressage competition in the field next door. Q1 Red-Faced Dave. We've never laughed so much. It's now a family legend and told by the lovely children not to touch anything. Love to everyone. On the advice of a therapist, Mr. Ray Charles took up chess to beat his drugs habit, and his main competitor, or one of them, was Willie Nelson. Interesting, that. Yeah, it was very interesting. While I'm washing this lettuce. Right, just change your attitude. Hi everyone, I work with a lovely lady who regularly uses the wrong words. Now, I'm not entirely sure if she's doing it on purpose, so I never comment on it at the time, but I like to relish them later and have a giggle to myself. So recently, she's been talking about doing the washing up using one of those green wiry things for scrubbing saucepans, and instead of calling it a scourer, she calls it a scurrier. So she said it several times, so I'm pretty sure I didn't mishear. And I had a vision of a happy little hamster sat on the draining board, waiting for his turn to scurry round the dishes. Come on, get the burnt bits off, Hammy. Anyway, it had me laughing for ages. Love to everybody, and I'm deliberately anonymous in case said lady is listening. In case the scurrier lady is listening. So, who knew that so many of you had actually had a word with a tour guide? And I've got to be honest, my brother and I together on some sort of interesting tour. Quite the force to be reckoned with. On holiday with my partner Lionel in Gran Canaria, we decided to take them up on an evening out. Well, they've gone on an evening out, and it was country music, free wine and barbecued steak and jacket. Now, if you was to suggest that to me now, I'd think, yeah, go on, what time do you want me? 8:30? Yeah, skin of my teeth, but I'll do my best, ma'am. Anyway, me and Lyde decided to take the horse ride up the main street with Kenny Rogers in the background. And I was in my blooming element, I don't mind telling you. But then I heard a tour guide tell a group of people that Clint Eastwood filmed A Fistful of Dollars there. Oh. I'm going to be honest with you, Rachel, I'd have been incensed. Well, I'm not a massive Clint fan, but I stopped the horse. I shouted to stop the horse, is what she says here. And I'm not normally outspoken. Yeah, but you were incensed. I found myself shouting, "No, he didn't film it here. That was in Spain. You idiot." This is Rachel Diamond of Grantham, Lincolnshire. And I'm going to be honest with you, Rachel normally holds the light for quite a lot of the Lincolnshire area. You know, not really prone to these kind of outbursts. But you start messing around with her country music knowledge, she's going to point the finger. Everybody, greetings from Jill and Peter in Hütten-le-Spring. We're celebrating our 34th wedding anniversary today. We're going to relive the meal we had a day after the wedding, which was Chinese takeaway and bubbles. I hope you do that every year. And for skating tonight, Jill is obviously going to be in her wedding dress, and I'm in my morning suit with top hat. So keep a lookout for us. Love to all. Oh, well, we can't miss you. Also, we could, if you want to start something at the beginning, we could have the spotlight to make it look like you're on top of the cake. And then me as a big chicken, I could just barge in and break it up. But we could make it look quite elegant. If anyone's in on this. I mean, you don't have to be. You are sovereign. Going on about it. Evening, everybody. On the subject of things you shouldn't use, but you did. Yeah. Me and my BFF, we were visiting a new multi-storey supermarché in Sheffield. It was one of the first of its kind at the time, and we became separated in all the excitement with pretty things, etc. So after half an hour of looking for each other, I noticed the customer service desk was unmanned. Yeah, what idiot left that unmanned? It had a shiny microphone with one simple button operation. I couldn't help myself. I jumped on it. I pressed the button and can Lindsay J come to customer services, please? That's Lindsay J to customer services. I've lost you. See, I think also, if you commit to something like that and do it with confidence, people, you get away with murder. I have. Just saying, I like it. Anyway, it was echoing round the store, Liza, and a flushed-looking woman in a green tabard. Woman in a tabard. She made her way quickly over to me, waving her arms in the air. You can't use that. You're not authorised. Yeah, back off, tabard. Caring too much is going to kill you. Anyway, at work, we were reunited, toddled off and finished our shopping together. All the best to everyone. Sarah, Sheffield. This is awful, but great.
I know I sound like to you. Think you have the time to spend living with me. I mean, we both some place to dance. I know that there are a chance you won't be living with me. And afterward we drove to a quiet little place to have a drink or two. And then I go and spoil it over, saying something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes that you despise the same love like you and I before. And though I just lied to you, for me it's true, I've never seen so right before. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say to make the meaning come true. But then I think I'll wait until the wedding is too late and I'm alone with you. The time is right, your barefoot feels my hand aside, get ready to the night so good. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Something absolutely marvellous about that. Commendments on phrasing. Evening, Liza. We're in the caravan in the Trossachs, just about to tuck into Balmoral chicken and mash. It's hungry work. Rustling in the Trossachs. It's thirsty work, isn't it? Chicken stuffed with haggis and wrapped in a rasher. Love to everyone. Martha and Marcus, Mum Alison and Big Daddy Danny. Big Daddy. Thanks, Big Daddy. Helen's in Chester. She says, Lisa, as a child, I thought my friend was so posh because every time I went for tea at her house, we had baked beans on toast, but the toast was always served on a side plate, beans in a dish, and I still serve them like that now, and I'm 52 3/4. I always thought it was so stylish. Yeah, you pick up a lot, don't you, and on play dates or going round and being a regular visitor in someone's house where everyone just relaxes with you a bit. I was always very good with parents. Kim Allison used to eat chicken skin like nobody else, like the crispy bits on a roast. Ooh. Anyway, I learned a lot from the Allisons. What was I going to comment else on there? Something really fascinating. Yeah, beans on toast, side dish. I'd say that your mate's mum had a dishwasher. That's what I'd suggest. So, David of Surrey here, Lisa. As a kid, my friend Ian had a soda stream. Yeah. And his dad drove a Granada. Oh, I was well jealous. We had a Leyland Maxi. And the Pop Man. Caesar salad here. I bet Ian's having sushi. Come on! You can't resist candy. God, it's good, isn't it, that? 1976. I think she's taking on some dates this summer as well. And I don't imagine that she is anything short of fabulous to see. Even if you just went for that one track. Even. Stop going on like you know things, all right? God. When I was young, I had a friend who I thought was so posh because her mum put Glade gel air freshener in every room. That's Nicola of Portsmouth, thank you. Incidentally, Spicy Tracy's had a few more regarding the paella. But Eleanor says, you know about adding things that people don't like to their food? Yes, sneaking things past them. My speciality is fennel seeds. All the family dislike them. And they tell me that, but I secretly add them to everything because 1, they're good for digestion, and 2, I've got loads of them to get rid of. Yeah, I know what you mean. I put fennel in. It's beautiful with fish. And then if you have it, say, sometimes I'll cook my salmon the day before, or I cook more because I know I'm going to carry it on my salmon thing on for lunch the next day, where the seeds have had time to sort of get moist again. Ooh, that's a delight. I love fennel. So my fabulous grandpa Gerald, when driving and exclaiming that a gap is wide enough for any overly cautious driver navigating the traffic, would say, "You can get an East Kent bus through there." East Kent. That's Jane of Cheltenham. "You can get an East Kent bus through there." Yes. Yeah. We've all done it, haven't we? Right. Hi everyone, I've just picked up my lovely mum Celia from Mansfield. I think they're on the A1, so we're in time to catch them in the car. Captive audience. We're going to have some Easter fun with us. Who's us? It's Ali for a start. And the dog Dexter in Peterborough. Her great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Robert Valentine, belonged to an orchestra in Leicester. He left to play in Italy and to try and make it in the music world, and changed his name to Roberto Valentino. He went on to play with the famous Handel. It might account for the musicality in the family. You think? That's the most innocent sentence. It might account for, well, yeah, it's in your blood. So you know what Celia's like, though. So we're forced to have cheese biscuits with a fruity glass of red when we get back, and I'm going to get a legless. She didn't say that. But I hope you have a lovely time. Hi, everyone. My friend Jane had a Spectrum 48K computer, which was very fancy indeed back in 1983, my friends. Yeah. Currently, my sister-in-law, brackets also a Jane, owns a collection of Louboutin and Jimmy Choo shoes. Also very fancy, sure. I don't know, I'm less impressed with that stuff now. I'm not having a dig at Jane's shoes. I'm sure they're lovely. I've got rid of extraordinary amounts of heel shoes. I've said out loud I will not wear heels again. Some terrible footwear now. Digging manure in down at the allotment plot today. It was a lot of fun. Stir fry for tea. Yeah, I wouldn't want you touching anything tonight, actually. And I'm coming to skating, listen to this, as a meteor shower, sparkly blue and diamante cape. Oh, my dog, I love that. That is going to be like real ballet. Oh, I love that. Claire and Paul, of course. Fots. Happy Easter, everybody. I've been decorating my kitchen since yesterday. This is Sarah Breeze Hunston. Sculpting clay is the colour. However, I've not got to the fun bit yet because I've been going through the pain of the ceiling and woodwork first. Oh, well done, you. Because you've got to do a ceiling and get it all done, because you're not going to do that again tomorrow unless you can mug someone else into doing it. So well done, you. And then the walls. Oh, I'm quite excited because tomorrow's finally wall paint. Oh, I feel it. Oh, your painting is visceral. And just so you know, I've got quite a delish chili bubbling away, ready for later. Yeah, when you are going to be as hungry as Duran's wolf. Where we go? Top Trumpington. First bird, Top Trumpington, you fruit. I like it when this plays. Sort of like prepping ourselves into skating later. First house martins arrived this week, says Rosie of East Devon. First sign of summer. They're a week earlier than in the last few years, and we normally get at least 10 nests in our eaves. I like a house martin. I like birds. You know me, I like birds. We've taken the Cara to Battle, East Sussex for the weekend, and we're working our way steadily through the bubbly. For skating tonight, I will be in a bunny outfit. Big, in capitals, white tail. Massive white tail. I don't know what she's made it out of. That will be Sean. He is adorned, in brackets, as usual, as a glorious peacock. Yeah. I think they'll be turning a few heads when they go and collect the delicious wood-fired pizza tonight. It's that visiting pizza van. And we've already discussed this, I think, about legendary. It's worth booking a... What is it when you book a spot? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, these are Fots, Tish and Sean, yeah. Hi everyone, Jen and Joe here. Love to all of the skating clique. Don't be putting words in Jen and Jen's mouth, lady. Tonight I will be wearing a gauze see-through leotard, risky, with leeks and other suitable veg to disguise anything that might put other skaters off. Nothing will. We're a hard-nosed crowd. We're not judgy. We're not. Update, Basque chicken with the gorgeous Joe. OK, I don't know what that means. Think I'm going to start my own trend of using old swear words like fiddlesticks and, ooh, you nitwit. It's so much more classy. What are you saying? Off to the Dutch bulb fields next week. Now that is interesting because Pauline would love that. Sylvia, put Radio 2 on. Sylvia! Pauline! What's this woman's name? Sylvia! Hi everyone, I'm slapping some marine blue paint on Amaranthus, my wide beam cruiser, in the setting sun in Chorley, Lancashire. It sounds flash, everyone, but I'm on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, and if you squint, it does look like Monaco. All the best to everyone. Clinton. Welcome back, men. I'm lucky I've got this guy, actually. This is the squeaky toy I bought in Canada. An old ring-a-ding's had his eye on it. He keeps on appearing like a meerkat the other side of the table. He knows it's nearby. Oh, yeah, welcome back. God, I tell you what. Kitty Cat Cardwell. She's reliable, isn't she? I don't mean to say things. God, she's good. So we're thinking about lines from your childhood, you know, things you find yourself saying that you last heard your dad saying or, you know, whatever. You know what I mean. That person, of course. We've got a few top bird trumpingtons because things are hotting up in the foul world. Where all things foul. Good ancestry intel. Had a bit of that, not too much. No delivery incidents thus far, none that I've read, and we have actually got quite a lot of paper. Caravan and Moho news, serving thrills that you've, been a bit sneaky with someone, but you don't care. And compulsions is the texter. Using things that you're not meant to use, but you would just... Oh, blow it. You pressed the button when you shouldn't have done. Anyway, that's what we're thinking. I'll leave you with this. At a wonderful Jubilee party last year, says Al, who's on the English Riviera. Beautiful, what a day. At a wonderful Jubilee party, one of my perfect friends made a very perfect pavlova, decorated perfectly with strawberries and blueberries in a Union Jack on the top. It looked perfectly fabulous and nothing like anything I could make. In brackets, I'm good at other things. After a few celebratory drinks too many, I absolutely couldn't resist the temptation. I replaced all the strawberries with cherry tomatoes, and it still looked perfect. Love to everyone. The man is just a creative. I like that. Hi, Lisa. Me and my eldest brother have been having a poke about our family's ancestry. Having a poke about? We found that our family tree traces back to Anne Hathaway and William Shakespeare. Yeah. Both from our paternal line. It's pretty surprising, and we're feeling rather smug. I think William Shakespeare, very pleased that you've had a poke about your family. This is Kate Andrew, who is going to be changing her name to Kate Shakespeare. Any relation? Well, yeah, funny you should say that. Oh, I'm just jealous. Evening, everybody. Lisa, could you do me a quick favour and tell Kate that she is puffin perfect and that her puffin patata bravas smell amazing? Thanks. This is Si. They're in Triarnon Bay. North Cornwall. I believe that area. Yeah, that's rock pooling. That is rock pooling area, isn't it? The sort of rock pools that can make you cry. They're so perfect. Potentially. I mean, obviously, I'm a stone gatherer. Oh, lovely. I love it when boys get in touch because their girlfriends are cooking for them and they're just more than excited. They've got to do something with their hands. Hi, Lisa. Me and my best mate Martin were in a pub one Christmas when he grabbed the mic. I've seen my dad do this. The whole family's horror. When he grabbed the mic off the singer on the stage and began to sing with the band. Needless to say, we were asked to leave. All the best to everyone. Paul of North Devon, Spag Bowl for tea, and hello to everyone visiting our lovely country. Or county, that could be. Hello, Paul. I'm sorry I can't read. God, thanks, Mabel John. I'm trapped in here with Ben, who's had a birthday this week and he's been 25. Sorry, mate. I absolutely trapped him in by yakking. Because sometimes this team's too interesting. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare that we only meet once a week, isn't it, Ben?
It is indeed.
Yeah, see real people here. Hi everyone, Rob of East London here. As a young gun, I used to detest capers. Bold line, ain't it? But years later, my gorgeous fiance, Tony, snuck them into fish and pasta, and now they go down a tree. See, that's Tony all over. It's the way he's been brought up. He's not having that. What, you don't like capers? Oh, right, OK, no, I will never use them. Yeah, right. He eats them like sweets out of the jar. Love to everyone from our long weekend in Stoneham Aspel in Suffolk. Oh, they're with their dog Marvin, who is, I understand, a border terrier. Many years ago, I had a friend who had the biggest collection of trolls. This is Kate in Grantham. Pasta bake for tea. That's it. That's exactly what she's written. Thank you. I love it, you know, when I read these, the words you use, the way you punctuate, it just says so much. I do feel like I'm an authority on, I think I'm an authority on quite a lot of things, and I know I'm not. But on the changes in social, I should just get a degree. Oh, they'll be giving degrees to all and sundry with the, actually, that is triggering. Get back to Kate, Grantham. Many years ago, I had a friend who had the biggest collection of trolls. I was envious beyond belief, as you can imagine. Pink hair, blue hair, all the outfits, every size imaginable. My sister had one with white hair and I coveted it. She used to make little outfits for it, tie it up with like a Japanese bandana thing. I'd have done anything for those trolls. Her house always smelled of new carpet and her mum did everything in a house coat. I thought it was sophistication personified. Quite like a house coat. I've rung the changes just with a selection of caftans. It's Mama Cass. Right up the arsenal, you better believe it. Hi, Lisa. Spent the week watching 2 doves making a nest in the trees at the bottom of the garden. That's got to be lucky, innit? Are you north or south facing? If that garden is facing south and they're nesting slightly right, that's your relationship area. You know what I say to that? Feng Shui style. I say, phew. Anyway, which is also... The doves have interested the stray cat who's adopted us. Oh, I don't want any news about that cat getting into the dove's nest. My fabulous husband is called Jan Willem, and he's driving us down the M6 because we're on our way to cruise. On Italy, we're going to go on Italy on Tuesday around Italy. This is Karen of Armagh. Love to everyone. I'm sorry I messed that up. I don't know what I was thinking. It's exactly the same as something stupid from before. Hi, everyone. Measures of wealth. Back in the 70s, when I was 10, my friend Sally had saloon-style doors between her kitchen and living room. They completely blew my mind. I couldn't get enough of swaggering through them, imagining myself entering a Wild West bar with feather boa. Yeah, because he weren't good enough to be a cowboy. Anybody in Wild West films for us, mind you, not that I wasn't addicted, I was. Dad loves a cowie. But you're either the slightly prim homemaker or a prostitute. I'm still jealous of them. Afraid I'll be too cream crackered for tonight, though, for skating, because I've completed an 11-mile Cotswold yomp with the fabulous John, husband. Margaritas and monkfish all round, love to you. Oh, that's good. Thanks for that. You can just watch the skating. Just watch it. A few years ago, myself and my filthy husband Michael were invited to a posh barbecue. Not knowing many people, we waited to go for the food. I'd only been seated a matter of minutes when a gust of wind lifted a paper plate covered in tomato juice and mayo, etc. Yeah, landed on my cheek, stuck there for what felt like years. The place went silent. Michael peeled the plate off and handed me a napkin, and I burst into laughter. What are the chances? Hi, I think, really. That is beautiful, though, isn't it? You're that woman to them now, aren't you? There's that woman got the plate full of... Yeah, there's that woman. They're going to have Scotch broth soup for tea. This is Kath Webster in Rastrick. And love to everyone, because that's Kath all over. Big-hearted. I'll be honest with you. Let's just be honest with you. Michael, I'm very excited about his future. Kath's fella. Hi, everyone. A while ago, after several years of fuss-free milk delivery. This is Claire of Bristol. 2 pints 3 times a week, thank you, Kelvin, the milkman. Several years of fuss-free, noted. Imagine my surprise when running late, as per, trying to get ready for work and the kids to nursery, school, etc. I opened the door to find 32 pints on the doorstep. A new computer system, allegedly, but I couldn't understand how Kelvin hadn't noticed because he's asleep. Wake up, Kelvin! Yeah, how hadn't he noticed? Oh, mate, do you know what? Let's cut Kelvin a bit of slack. He might have had a lot on. Something must have happened. And he can't talk to anyone because he's up at 3:30 delivering 32 bottles of milk. He's thinking, well, she must want it. What's she making? Bechamel? The milk company refused to take it away. Of course they did. Compounded my morning stress. I literally couldn't give it away. The kids are now teenagers and both out on the town tonight, so mixed risotto for dinner for me and the very lovely husband, Geront. Suzanne's in Hants. She says, my 5-year-old daughter had a mate round for tea many years ago now. The mum asked what her son had eaten, and I explained it was what we call bits. Oh, they've had bits tea. They've had a bit of cucumber, cheese, hummus, grapes, carrots, strawberries, etc. All the good stuff. Ah, mixed hors d'oeuvres, said the mum. Well, do you think she was having a gag with you? Well, no, you'd have said, we still laugh about this now, says Suzanne. Might have been her sense of humour. That is my chair. Who's done that to this? Honestly, I could search. Because we're not allowed storage here, don't think I'm going to find any WD-40. Actually, do you know what? Cardwell might have some. Sort of thing that she does, despite her crunchy schedule. Hi, everyone. We're in the motorhome near Balmoral, says John and Maeve. They're assisted by the Millie, who isn't a fat Labrador, so stop saying she is. But she is the living room hoover. We're in the motorhome, just pondering over a glass or two of vino. At what age do you stop eating sweets? If I had a camera on now, I'd be looking at you blankly. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean blackjacks, rhubarb and custard, sherbet dips, flying saucer type of sweets. Yeah, OK, I'm with you. I love the flying saucer. But only if the sherbet really almost hurt. Do you know what I mean? Like those red lollies that had that yellow sherbet and they'd cut the top of your mouth and it was like, oh, it was a thrill. I don't know, though. You're absolutely right. Strange, isn't it? We can't pinpoint it. We're in our late 50s, so it was a long time ago. Yeah, but you don't say no to a... I mean, I'm a swine for a jelly snake. And my mentality, see, I'd rather eat something like that than chocolate. I love chocolate, but I'm not in... Yeah, I don't have to eat chocolate. I don't know what I'd... Yeah, probably... If I could eat anything, yeah... Oh, don't. We're starting that now. We're starting early. I haven't had tea. I had lunch at about 1:30. Yeah, I'm hungry. Pasta with chorizo and a spicy tomato sauce for dinner. Love to everyone. So we've been clucking around, and before we roll away, I need you to name today's show 6 words or less. So Steve Fotts of Clacton-upon-Sea scored last night with Naughty Red Shoes. Naughty Red Shoes! It was that French woman. It was all about a school trip to Mount St Michael, Mont Saint-Michel. Some French woman, kitten heels, you know the deal. So name today's show 6 words or less if you can. And with it being Easter Monday, you've got an extra day to get creative. But there's not that much to it, is there? Suggestions in by Tuesday lunchtime, please. So once more, name the show 6 words or less by sending. There's no P in sending. Sending your suggestions to liza.t@bbc.co.uk 88291 on the texts. Or you can WhatsApp me on 08000 288 291. And that, my friends, is what I like to call housekeeping done. Tracy, at the beginning of the show, was very kind enough to send her turmeric dilemma, re the paella. Now, we cannot upload the picture of the paella onto the Instagram account for reasons that I am not getting into. But, by crikey, it looks delicious. So she says, voila, the final product included the turmeric, mojo store cupboard, all out of saffron, but we did have paprika. So both of those are going to colour you good. And then she says, boy, oh boy, was it good. I don't doubt that, Tracy. Hey, Lisa, I've just heard you saying about flying saucers. And having grown up as Catholics, my wife and I often laugh because we refer to them as communion host with flavour. Communion host with poke. Poke salad, Annie. We're never going to go to heaven. Of course you are. Of course you are. You're going to stroll in. Nutty Red Shoes. This is Gareth and Michelle Spencer of Cardiff. Oh, what's that? Well, I'm not reading that because it is actually filthy. So, yeah, I've just... You know what? We just had a whirlwind 2.5 minutes because the legend that is Gary Davis has just popped in for a little cuddle. And I like doing that, you know. Grounding him and picking him up. We all deserve it. In the 70s, my sister's prospective parents-in-law invited our family over for tea. They served us Heinz vegetable salad. One of us saw the tin in the kitchen, and this was reported back to Mum and Dad, and they were so impressed that their daughter was marrying into such a posh family. My dad kept giving Mum knowing nods. What is Heinz veg salad? Is it the spread? Remember, Mandy Glassick at school was mad for that. Having lasagna for tea and lots of lady petrol. Love to everyone. This is Carol and Kevin in Coulston. This is CK in C. Oh, doesn't work. Angela and friends are in a field in Leicestershire. Primula cheese at Leslie Cummings' birthday party was fancy because we were a Dairy Lee household. Yeah, I was reminded about having breakfast at Mildred, my friend Mildred, who was Dutch's house. And her mum had the brass neck to put the toaster on the actual table so that she could sit with her children and have breakfast. Imagine that. Just thinking about that randomly from, 45 years ago the other day. Honestly. Have a wonderful few days and be lovely to everyone. This is Radio 2 on BBC Sounds Up. It's on your smart trousers. And so are those eggs. Sylvia, put Radio 2 on. Sylvia! Pauline, what's this woman's name?